And this is what 5, maybe 4 feet up in the air did to a battery. That's insane. Alright guys, your boy BA should be here. Hope y'all having a fantastic day. This is a video where we're gonna remake the Rekon 5 into another body, into another drone sort of. So we're gonna show what I got. You're probably wondering why I did this upgrade to the Rekon 5 is because the bolts that were holding on to the propellers, you can see they were like cross-threaded. See the little silver, and it crashed. The propeller flew off of it. I could have probably used blue Loctite, but I didn't. So I went with these motors, either the 2306 Ethic Mr. Steely motors. I don't know. They look really cool. I really love the mustache just sitting right there. It's kind of cool. We're gonna see how it goes though. I mean, that's really, I love the black. I really love it. Yeah, we're gonna test out and see how it goes. So I got 4 of those, and then I got the Mark IV body. That's why I decided to put what I'm gonna put the body on, because my other Mark IV, it matched up with everything. I was like, all right, bet. So might as well just match it up and have 2 of the same thing, but except that one's gonna be the Rekon 5. I'm gonna call it Zeus. So that's the main frame of it. I'm gonna call it Zeus because it is called Zeus. So that's the nickname of this quad. So let's get right into this build. Alright, so we ran into a problem already. And this might be the last problem. Hopefully, cross my fingers. So the arm, it was too thick. It was like, it's like 5 inches. So I kind of sandpapered it down. I have a machine that does it. And this is the finish it came out with. It looks pretty sleek. It's carbon fiber. It's got like lines through it. It's a pretty cool design, I guess. Makes it unique. So I had to shave it down. I don't know how thick it is now, but I compared it to the other ones. So this is what it looks like now. This is what it looked like when it was sandpapered. It's kind of hard to look, focus in. And this is what it usually looks like. This is the regular carbon fiber arm. So looking at 2 of them side by side, you can tell the difference. You're probably wondering why I did this. Well, the screws they gave for me to mount the motors are this tiny. Ooh, tiny. So I'm going to show you what it looks like through the original arm. And I was kind of sad. I was like, oh, yo. So that's what that in. You can literally get no threads out of it. Barely through it. And this is what it looks like when you have it sandpapered down a little bit. You can see the threads. So far so good. I'm probably going to sandpaper this down a little bit more to get an extra couple threads in there. And then we'll be on our way. And hopefully we won't run into many more problems. So hopefully. I've already been through so many problems with the camera. Now this. And now my other problem, hopefully won't have a problem, is the motor's working on that motherboard. It probably will. It hooks up to a 4S. This is a 4S motor. And the motors on that drone is a 4S too. So hopefully, crossing my fingers, we don't run into any more problems. But yeah, we'll go sandpaper those arms down real quick. All right. Most of the stuff I'll post in the description. So I had these. I had to make the camera longer. I kept running into problems. It's like, oh, it's too short. But everything's all sorted out. I got everything good. So with these wires are for the camera. So with some of these, you have to like poke the pin out and pull it out and switch it over. That's what I had to do, because the wire weren't lining up to the one that was short. It's too short to even reach to what body I'm putting it on. So I ended up extending it a lot longer, soldered the wires on there, and then boom, tested out the camera and it worked. So we're gonna get everything off of here. We gotta desolder the motors, all 4 of them. So we gotta take the little board off, and then solder. We gotta unsolder and then solder on the new ones. So I'm gonna show you what I got and what we're gonna put it on. So here we are. We're about to desolder the propellers. Those just right there. You see those black wires right there. And you got those right there. So far, this is what we have. I soldered down, I sanded down the arms. They look pretty sleek. They got some weird designs on them, but hey, I like them. We got the Mr. Steel propellers on there. Hopefully these will, eventually work. Hopefully. Make sure everything was alright. Nothing too difficult to do. But yeah, we're gonna see what else gives us problems, and yeah, that's a big mess over here. Look at all this. Alright, so I'm totally not at work. So basically I've been working on the drone. I ran into a couple problems. Let's see. So the first one was the arm for the motors. Fixed the arms with the motors, that was all good. The camera had a problem with the wire being too short. Ended up fixing that. And now I ran into another problem. The ESC burned out. Like one of the little chips on there burned out. I don't know if I did something when I was soldering. A couple of times I messed up because the solder wouldn't really, it wouldn't melt. So I'm gonna stop the video right here. So basically when I burned out my ESC, probably because the soldering iron I have is just not any good. It's a butane. Probably wasn't getting hot enough. But I'm going to show you what kind of soldering iron you should get. And it's very recommended. Better than what I had. But here we go. Alright, so this is the soldering iron I was using. It's a butane. All you do is light it up there. And the tip gets hot. The only problem is it don't really tell you how hot it gets. It doesn't say anything in the manual. But something like a store-bought, don't use those. That I don't recommend it. It was doing the job, but it just wasn't doing it. It wasn't melting the solder fast enough. So this is something you need to get right here. It's got a nice thin tip. You can tell the difference. Very, very big difference. So this is what it's called. It's called a square. It's a SQ001 electric soldering iron. So all you do, you get an XC60 connector, which comes with the package. And you plug it up to a 4-cell battery of some sort. And this is like a plug-in, like updated. Yeah, updating a soldering iron. I was like, what? I was like, okay. So all it does, it just turns on. You heat it up. I usually heat it up around, was it 380 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Celsius? And it did the job. So whenever you're using a soldering iron, be sure to leave some solder on the tip so it doesn't, get oxidized. But other than that, it's a pretty good soldering iron. I've only used it for a day. Shoot, it already really impressed me. I've already done a couple tests on it, and it really works. So this is something I really, really, recommend. Yeah, so that's it. All right, so it is Monday. So I made the video when I was at work, maybe Friday. So a couple things went wrong. Motor wires were too short, so that was a bummer. But everything is together. The new ESC's on there. The ESC's on there. Look at that. It's all prepped up, all back together. Still gotta wait for the antenna and then the other antenna for the crossfire. I gotta get this standoff for it still coming in. So right now I'm just checking Betaflight or BO Heli to make sure the rotations of the propeller are right. So that's what you see the tape for, to see what directions they are. Motor number 4, 3, and 1 are going in the wrong direction, I'm pretty sure. I'm about to double check and see. But so far we're doing so good. The propellers I'm gonna put on it are the Galaxies. The Galaxy. It's the one that was on the Mark IV, which is sitting right there. But I put the original ones on there. Those are like very easy to break propellers, but they flew pretty good. So yeah, we're just gonna have to configure the motors, make sure they're going the right way, and then boom, this build is complete. Shout out to Grayson's Hobby Store. They helped me will help me up with the ESC, because the last one I burned out. So this one's running good. Camera works, everything works flawlessly. Yeah, we're gonna see if we got any more problems. And just like that, the quad is finally finished, put together. GPS hanging right there. This is not the fully, like, what it's gonna look like. This antenna, it's just there for right now until I get all the attachments. Same with that antenna. Until I get the same attachments. I've flown it and it flies pretty good. Angle, horizon mode, and acro mode work perfectly fine. Let me know if y'all want to see a test flight of this. But I'm gonna show you the, what it's gonna actually look like right now. All right, so here's the Rekon 5, the rebuild. It's halfway finished. The only problem I have was the antenna mount for the VTX. So there's supposed to be a mount right here that's coming in. I got the crossfire antenna up though, so that's cool. There was a lot of things I ran into with the motors with the screws being too small, so I had to made the arms thin a little bit, but it works. What else I had problems with? Problem with the camera, with the wire being too short from reaching to the flight controller to over here. So I got that fixed. What else did I have problems with? I think that was pretty much it. Can't really think of something of mine. I got the little arm things. Keep the because sometimes I think I made the arms too short, so I had these little arm pads that will shorten the distance so the screws don't go all the way into the copper of the motors. Another problem came into was the capacitor. When it was laying on the ground, it would touch, so I put some paddings there just in case. Yeah, that was one of the problems. The capacitor was getting in the way, so I had to make a hole for it. But everything else, I mean, it works, it flies, not very loud, it's sort of quiet. Another thing that comes in is the GPS. The GPS, some guy from Australia, I got 3D printing a little mount for the GPS, so that will be coming in pretty soon. So it's not fully done, but there'll be a little 3D printed mount for the GPS and another mount for the VTX antenna, and everything will pretty much be done with this build. The only thing different from between these two, this has GPS, which is pretty cool. They have different motors that are kind of quiet. These motors, man, they scream. These scream sort of, but not too loud. Maybe if I put through full throttle, maybe. But, everything works. Another thing I'm adding to it is a GoPro mount. So whenever I get a GoPro from anytime soon, that will be there. They're the same bodies. Pretty nice. This is what the mount would look like. The 3D printed mount for the VTX antenna. It will look like this. It'll hold on to the crossfire antenna and the VTX antenna. And then that'll be it. So I'm just waiting for the GPS module to come in, and this thing will have GPS, and the wire is just sitting there. This wire right here is for the beeper. Probably not going to put it on there. Thanks for taking your time out of your day to watch this video. It was a long headache process and figuring out what to do next if I ran into a problem. Appreciate y'all watching the video. All I really got to do is just get a GPS mount, and then that's pretty much it for this build. So, it was fun doing it. Sure, you get headaches from it, from building stuff, but, hey, that's I guess, the fun to it, I guess. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it. See y'all in the next video.